Everyone, it's Friday night at your house board game night. There has been a growing interest in board games over the last year, and no wonder why. So Christian is here to show you how to DIY your very own fun family board game. And I love this idea, Christian.
Yeah, I feel over the past year, I kind of rediscovered my love of board games. I feel like when I was a kid, I played them all the time, and then you forget about them. But I really convinced all my friends in my bubble to do them this year. But I will admit, after a while, I kind of got board game boredom. I mean, there's only so many times you can be a master at Monopoly before you move on, right? So I thought, why not invent my own DIY board game with some friendly faces that we all know? And I made a custom DIY Guess Who game.
This is such a fantastic idea to do for yourself, but an incredible gift to give as well. So here's what you'll need for this DIY. You need 2 pieces of craft plywood for the bases, wood rectangle pieces, dollhouse hinges and screws, printable sticker paper, craft glue, a thin wooden dowel, muslin bag, thick cardstock, craft paint, and a paintbrush. Now, how do we start this project?
So I think kind of the trickiest part and the very first thing you need to do is you need to pick your 25, I call them lucky winners, gagnant, of who you want to feature on your Guess Who game. I mean, I had a bunch of ideas. I thought, I could do a whole bunch of drag queens I love, or some famous divas like Aretha, Whitney, Tracy Moore. And I thought, no, I will do my Cityline family because I've been missing their friendly faces.
Aww.
So the first thing you do is creep the social media. That's what I did, creep social media, and pull some of their favorite photos from Facebook or Instagram.
I love seeing these faces. And I mean, I've got them all here. I've got all the little faces here that I don't get to see in real life anymore. Take a look at this, all from social media.
And your first step is you're just going to size them. So you're going to use a Photoshop program. You're going to size them so they're the same size as your wooden tile. You can remove the background if you want to be really fancy in Photoshop. Edit them to size. You're going to print out 3 copies. So you're going to need 2 copies on your photo paper that's actually peel and stick paper. And then 1 copy on cardstock that's going to be your sort of Guess Who pile. Then my next step I did is I actually took my wooden tiles, and you can actually paint them out. You can leave them natural if you want it to, but I took just some simple craft paint. You can see I painted them out a fun color. You could use some leftover paint. The next thing you want to do, and this is where I screwed up, Tracy, I'll admit it. I screwed up the first time I did this project, is you're actually going to glue on your hinges before you put on your photos. If you put your photos on first, it hides the names. You don't want that. So glue on your hinges, because trying to screw into here is not easy, so don't do that. So just glue them. You can use a craft glue, super glue, any glue you got. Let it dry. Then what you're going to do is cut out all your faces. And because they're on peel and stick paper, it's actually really easy just to grab your tile and stick it right on. So then you've got all your little friendly faces on all these tiles. So you're going to have 50 tiles in total, 25 and 25 for each one. And I just use green tape to basically space out each one of my tiles so they're evenly spaced. I suggest pre-drilling your holes just so it's easier when you're doing it. You don't crack your plywood. And then you're simply going to grab your tiles and screw them in with your little dollhouse screws and your dollhouse hinges. I didn't even know there was a dollhouse hinge and screws. And as you work along, you'll start getting these guys. So once you've completed your entire board, Tracy, the very last thing you're going to do, oh, mine just slipped down, is you're going to add these little wooden dowels at the front, which is actually where when you pick from your Guess Who pile, you put in your card of who you're guessing. Now, are you ready to play, Trace?
I'm ready.
Do you know how to play?
Nope.
Okay, so simple rules for everybody. I had no idea either. Is we each pull from our deck of cards, the extra one, a mystery card that we're each going to guess. So I've got one here, and then literally you just ask each other yes and no questions. And if the answer is no, you flip down that face until you figure out who it is. So for example, Tracy, I would say to you, did you pick your card? I would say, does my person self-identify as part of the male gender?
No.
Oh, so then I would flip down any male person on my card, and then you would ask a question. You just go through it all until you're ready to guess. If you guess wrong, though, the other person automatically wins, so be careful.
I love this game. And I mean, look at, we've got it here, all of these lovely faces that I would just kind of flip them up and look at them. because I haven't seen everybody in so long. What a great idea for a game with the friends, with the family. I think this is lovely. You could actually put all of your family members on here as well, which would be really nice. So good, Christian.
Yep.
Thank you so much for that.